How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we're doing knife news. This should go up Friday. We try to do this every Friday. Just have a laid-back video about recent happenings in the knife world, knife community, the good stuff, okay? So, per usual, sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a mom, maybe two if you're that lucky. Let's get into it. So, guys, I have a lot of stuff that I want to go over today. Some kind of unique stuff that's a little different for the channel. First, I want to talk about these two knives right here that I've been testing. We have the Duckhead Forge Stalker and S35 VN at 63 HRC, and the Baby Moon Blades Hunter. Don't know the number because I never remember the number, but this one's in CPM 154. Also at 63 HRC. Now, these are kind of cool because typically when we see these steels, they're from a production setting, and we're not always getting the full potential out of the steel. And it's not even like we would know that unless we do a little bit of digging, right? So S35 VN, for instance, can be brought up to 64 HRC. Isn't that crazy? And you're not really losing anything. But typically, we see it at 58 to 60 HRC. And you have to remember, the Rockwell scale is not linear. So 58 HRC compared to 63 HRC, it may logically only be a few physical points. But when you actually look at how that scale works, it is a significant difference because it's not a linear measured scale. So, this is my first time trying CPM S35 VN at such a high hardness. Also, super thin geometry on this one, 10 thou BTE. And I have to say, this is another one of those steels where production settings have completely ruined the reputation of the steel. We are very used to soft S35 VN, end of story. Nothing against anyone that does that. We all know production settings are pretty limited with what they can pull off, and that's fine, but I've used the stuff 58-60 type deal, and it's just soft, it's glassy, it's mushy. 63 HRC, however, is completely out of this world different, guys. Way more aggressive edge, still has crazy good toughness. It is very impressive, razor sharp. This has been an absolute beautiful experience so far. I'm really excited about it because there are a number of steels that have been, you know, kind of painted in a bad light from production companies because they weren't utilizing the full potential due to the restrictions in a production setting. And S35 VN is one of them. CPM D2 is another one. CPM 154 and 154 CM, both are steels that they're nothing, you know, crazy extravagant like a super steel, but production settings have definitely kind of done them dirty a little bit. This one is also at 63 HRC, like I said, and man, you wouldn't believe how toothy this thing is. It's just a completely different experience. So I'm really enjoying these two knives. The higher hardness, the thinner geometry, the custom everything. It's really nice. I guess it's really fun. It's really nice. It's a learning experience for me. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Also, I want to show you something really neat. A lot of makers are starting to do this tapered tang and or partial tang. So this one, see how it tapers all the way down really thin? Absolutely beautiful work from Dusty, by the way. You're not going to believe how lightweight this is. I want to bring you guys down for just a moment and show you on the scale because, spoiler alert, we have some technical supplies that have come in from viewers or, you know, companies, people, stuff like that. We're going to start using them because I've had them for a while and I haven't had a chance to use them. So this is a scale that was donated by a viewer. Thank you so much. I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if you want me to. We also have a best tester, guys. SharpeningsSupplies.com sent me a best tester a couple months ago. I've had it. I need to get it on film. I've been meaning to. I did not ask for it at all. I didn't even hint. They just literally one day were like, hey, you want a best tester? We'll send it to you for free. And I was like, ooh, that might be cool. I guess it's because I do so much work for them. Like, you know, they don't ask me to advertise their work. It's all unpaid, so maybe it was like a thank you, which was very kind of them. Let's just let that zero out here. Can you guys see that? Okay, so we're 0. Check this out. 2.75 ounces for a full-size fixed blade. Guys, for reference, the Spyderco Sage 5 lightweight is 2.9 ounces. This full-size fixed blade, full size, it's, I want to say 7 1/4 inches overall, 2.75 ounces, less than a Spyderco EDC pocket knife. Isn't that crazy? So we're just really starting to be able to see what these custom makers are capable of. I think it's so impressive, and that's nothing against Spyderco. You guys know I love Spyderco. But the Sage 5 lightweight, it's got those liners, the full liners. It's not really as lightweight as it could be, in my opinion. Nothing against it, but I just think it's very cool that we can have a full-size hunting knife, tapered tang, all lightweight, 2.75 ounces. That's really cool. So I've been playing around with those custom done steels. They're doing wonderful. It's just a really cool experience compared to what I'm used to from a production setting. Love it. Next, we're going to talk about some ergonomics testing I've been conducting. And guys, if you want to see what I do every day with the knives, definitely follow my Instagram. And this isn't a plug for my Instagram, but I don't have time to put the camera on all the time. And Instagram, I'm much more active. I know that I upload on here a lot, but Instagram gets like my all day updates. I put the leather work up there, all the leather projects I'm working on, available leather work, knife testing that I'm doing in the moment, because you can record like a 60-second clip to a story. Just spur of the moment things that I do all day, every day are recorded over on Instagram on my stories. So if you want to see kind of the behind the scenes, go give that a follow. It's the same handle as my YouTube. So I've been testing some handle ergonomics, and the reason being is because I am not a bushcrafter or a survivalist, nor do I want to be in those communities at all. I just use knives for their intended purpose and see what happens, right? I have a really beautiful little backyard. We have a little bonfire pit. I've been doing the batoning, feather sticking, fire starting, whatever for a long time on the channel. It's just something that I have fun doing. Like I said, it's not to be part of the bushcraft community at all. That whole thing is just interesting to me anyway. This is just like having some cool knives and seeing how they do given the tasks they were meant for. It also gives me insight on designs that I'm working on. So sometimes I am inspired by other people's designs, and sometimes I use a knife and I'm like, ooh, that's something that I would not want to use in mine because I don't think it'll work for me. So I've been using these two bushcraft knives because I am working on a few larger camp knives myself with some makers. And a long debate in the community is flat-sided versus Coke bottle. So these two beautiful knives here are from Adventure Sworn. I've had this one for, I want to say close to 10 years. This is one of the original ones. This is a Mountaineer in 3V at 62 HRC, I believe. This is one of the newest ones. This is the Explorer R series in 62 HRC AEBL. And this is essentially their budget version of the Explorer with some machined scales, kind of more basic materials, still the great heat treat and all of that stuff. The same quality, just kind of a budget series of their knives. For reference, a true Adventure Sworn is over $300. This, I think, was $2 something, I want to say. So very cool, But what I did on purpose was I had Josh Francis from Knife Guy Mods redo the handle on my old one because it was curly maple, something like that. And I didn't want to ruin these scales because I really like these. So I sent this into Josh, told him to put flat-sided scales on for testing. So they're flat. We've got beautifully rounded corners though, and thumb scallops. And then we left the other one as is. And the other day on Instagram, I was doing some side-by-side testing with these. I also did a poll on YouTube on my community page asking which one people like better. A lot of people seem to really like the Coke bottle handle, and I'm actually the opposite. There are only 2 makers that I enjoy Coke bottle handles from. The first one is Kyle over at the Scrawny Lumberjack. I don't know what he does with his, but they're comfortable for me. And Baby Moon Blades. Granted, this is a really different Coke bottle. Look at how thin this is right there and right there. It does not swell and curve like a typical one. So I would call this kind of a hybrid, but it is a Coke bottle. This, super comfy for me. Kyle's, super comfy for me. I've tried so many other Coke bottle knives. They don't work for me, and I've tried everything. This one included. This doesn't work for me, and it could be that my hand is too small for the knife. It could be that I am an idiot. That is very much true. But this is not comfortable at all. It feels like I'm holding a golf ball in my hand. And again, it's nothing against the knife at all. Cody is amazing. I've talked to him personally on the phone. We know each other. He's a good guy. This is nothing against him or his work, but I think my hand is maybe just too small, and it just doesn't feel good for me. It actually does cause hot spots, and this swell rolls around in my hand, and it causes friction, and it just doesn't work for me nearly as well as the flat-sided one. This is one of the most comfortable knives I've ever used. Josh nailed it with the corners on this being nice and rounded. We got a flat spot. This just feels so much better for me. For prolonged use, this is what works for me. I just feel like I have a better solid grip. It's not rolling around in my hand like the other one. I think my hands are just too small to use man knives. And you have to remember, it's a male-dominated community. There is not really anything designated for females, and as masculine and tomboy as I am, I'm still a girl with little goo-goo hands. So I just don't think a lot of male-inspired knives work for my hands, and this is one of them, man, where just my palm doesn't fall in the right spot because I really want to choke up, and then it's kind of on the end of that like bulbous part there. It's not as comfortable for me as it is for other people. So that was kind of cool to discover. Wrote that down in my notes to apply to future designs that I'm working on because I have a lot of them in the works. Now we're going to talk about something kind of unique that I haven't talked about on the channel too much. I'm not a huge fan or advocate of accessories for knives. I find a lot of them unnecessary for me. The first one that I actually did fall in love with was the Baby Moon Blades Blade Balm. It is an all-natural coating, kind of like a waxy coating that you can put on your knives when you put them into storage so they don't rust or anything. It has a really nice scent. I don't work for Baby Moon, I promise. They're just my friends. They make awesome knives, and their blade balm is awesome. So I use that for the blades. Now, these were sent to me from Josh, okay? Joshy. He included these in a package for me to test. We have non-hardening wax and hardening wax from Knife Handle Supply. Brian is a great guy. He knows who I am, but we're not like friends or anything. I'm not doing this for him. He has no idea I'm doing this. These are very cool. So some people don't like the, we'll call it dry look of your mom. No, I'm just kidding. The dry look of micarta, okay? So you can see here that this particular knife looks a little dry. See? See how the fibers are exposed? Josh did wax this, but it has completely kind of worn away because I've been using this so much. Some people don't like that dry look, and they are looking for a product to rehydrate and protect their knife scales. So I've been playing around really thoroughly with these two waxes, and they're kind of cool, guys. So I put the hardening wax on this Kyle Noseworthy Bake Apple in 01, and you can see a little bit of a sheen on that handle. It was not like that before. This was actually a really pale orange and a matte finish, like a rough matte finish. And now it's kind of popping with more color. It's nice and shiny. You can see the reflection off of it. It also made the G10 scales very grippy, and it's not a sticky film on your hand. It's not leaving anything. It's just you hold the knife and it feels warm and grippy. It's very cool. So I did a lot of work with this the other day, again on Instagram. I filmed it over there. I did some feather sticking and some batoning with this knife and got the handles sweaty and dirty. It didn't wear off at all. It feels great, and it just really kind of suction cups into your hand. So the hardening wax so far is awesome. I do have more experience with the non-hardening wax because this is what Josh puts on all my knives before they get sent to me. And then I applied it to some of my own. And this right here has the non-hardening wax. And you can see it has come off on some areas. It's coming off on the corners where I believe, I don't know if this is true, this is just my hypothesis, I believe the corners look dry because when I put this knife in the sheath, I think that leather is absorbing any type of moisture that this hardening wax holds. Whatever this is made with, yeah, so it has some oils in it. It has a couple of seed oils, it looks like, and some coconut oil. So I'm figuring with heat and all of the things, the leather is absorbing those more liquid aspects of this. But other than that, the wax is staying on the knife really, really well. This particular knife, Josh left at a, like, I want to say 80 grit finish on this micarta. So when it got to me, it was very porous, very open, crazy, crazy grippy, almost like Taro Tough. And I put the non-hardening wax on this one a good amount, really loaded it, and you can see how dark it is now. This was very pale before. Again, used it really thoroughly doing my testing between this knife, and it's super grippy, guys. So this is also kind of like a rubbery grip. It feels like it does not really leave a film on your hands at all. I will say, I think the non-hardening, for a hot second, you can feel it on your hands, but the moment you go like this, it just rubs away. Very warm in the hand, sticky, kind of like a suction cup. It feels great when you're using it. And the best part about it is it does not distract from the natural grip of micarta that we love. A lot of people love natural micarta because the moment it gets wet, it gets way more grippy. So this, I'm hoping you can kind of see. Look at how porous this still is, even being saturated in that non-hardening wax from Knife Handle Supply. You can see all the pores still, the canvas, everything. So far I really like it. This is not a review. I haven't done enough work with it, but it just feels awesome in hand. It's rehydrating that micarta. It's protecting it as well. It does give it a waterproof kind of, capability there. I need to test all of this further, but I will say if you're looking for something to put on your knife handles to make the colors pop more and to get some extra grip, this wax, both of the waxes from Brian are really nice so far. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I'm not one to usually plug accessories like this. They're just not really my thing. I don't feel they're necessary, but these are actually kind of cool. I really like these so far. So check out Knife Handle Supply. He's on Instagram. Again, he has no idea I'm doing this. I'm not paid by anyone at all for anything, okay? It's all just true opinions. Two more things I want to touch on. An update on the Northern Knifeworks Dart in 8670 that I've been carrying every day. This is 60 to 61 HRC. 8670 is a simple carbon steel, low alloy, nickel chromium, the best toughness on the market, doesn't have the best edge retention, super easy to forge, super easy to grind and work with, it doesn't warp, all of the things. People that forge love 8670, it's cheap. I had Levi make this knife for me because I wanted to further test this steel. I only have one other knife in 8670. It's from Dusty at Duckhead Forge. This boy. It's a hunting knife that I tested butchering a deer. It did amazingly well. This has been doing awesome. It's been keeping a great edge. I did finally toast it though, and it was during a task that would really toast kind of any knife. I made a steak. I cut the steak with this knife on a ceramic plate, and it was, you know, a significant amount of cuts. And the cutting on the ceramic plate completely glassed out the edge, just toasted it. No edge damage or anything like that, but it's just, you know, it's very, very slick. So it needs to be sharpened. I will film that sharpening. It is nothing against the knife or the steel or anything. That will tend to dull a lot of edges. But I just wanted to tell you guys, like, that's kind of the update. This did awesome. Was holding great front end sharpness until I did that, and now it just needs to be done. So we'll film that. But this is getting the Teeners. It's beautiful. This is, I think, going to be a cool steel choice for people that like ease of sharpening, love toughness, and love patina. It's a very old school steel. It's been around for a while. But if you want something that takes the Teeners and you can sharpen crazy easily, it might be for you. This is definitely more applicable to camp knives and outdoors knives. That's what I see it excelling in the best, and that's why I have an outdoors knife in it. Something like this would be awesome in 8670. Again, not the best edge holding capability, but it, you know, it is what it is. And sharpening is fun, so you can always do that. God, 22 minutes. I gotta shut this down. Last thing. I've also been testing the goat head knives Trapper in Nitro V at 62 HRC. This has been rehandled by Josh Francis. Very cool. This has been doing awesome as well. This is a very slim, lightweight knife. I haven't ever weighed it, so let me do that real quick. It's just a sweet little blade. It's pretty long. I've got a good amount hanging off there, but for man hands, I think it'll fit you guys pretty dang well. The jimping is really nice, crowned jimping, just a cool little blade. Let me get a weight on this. This is not accurate of what you would be getting because I had it rehandled. I think this is going to be heavier actually. It originally came with G10 scales and some really nice hardware. Wow, it's nearly the same as the Stalker, just in case you guys are weird and you're gonna think I'm making it up. Everything's gonna be on camera, doesn't it? .72, okay? So, nearly identical to the Stalker. Very lightweight. You gotta remember a lot of knives are, you know, 3 ounces over. EDC knives, this is a hunting knife, but crazy lightweight, super thin. Just a sweet little blade. Todd is a great guy. He's a little more secluded. He's like a recluse. He moves in silence. He does drops. They sell out instantly, but I'm sure 99% of you don't even know who Todd from Goat Head Knives is. He's awesome. Incredible work. Really good guy. Love his stuff. He has trappers and hunters. Haven't really seen much else from him. I've been trying to coerce and manipulate him into making some sort of EDC knife or something smaller, maybe a broader blade, anything, but he's pretty much doing hunters and trappers. Maybe one day he'll do something more EDC. Todd, if you're watching. But he does great work. Check him out. Another wonderful custom maker, but I appreciate you guys watching. You know, it was really kind of spooky making the decision to predominantly focus on custom knives and support my friends as opposed to just pumping out endless content on production knives. I'll always do the Spyderco stuff. I love them. But, you know, my heart and my soul and my passion really is talking about custom knives from custom makers. They're my favorite. I think they do the best work. They deserve the recognition. And I work with so many of them, and they're all truly my friends. That's just kind of what makes me happy at this point, is, you know, testing their stuff, showing their stuff. I have so many beautiful custom maker friends. How could you not talk about them? So that's it for today. Like I said, I think this is going up Friday. When it is up, I will probably be drinking beer. Hopefully, if there is a mom. I mean a god. Guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. I will see you on the next video. I love you so much, fam. Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep. Take care. Love you.